welcome to my channel. So for today's video, we're doing something a little different. I thrifted these bath crayons, and I know that they are bath crayons because they came in a set from the thrift store. They are used. We did try and test them already. I will play that footage here in a minute. And included in that footage is my attempt to try the bath paints that absolutely failed. I'm sorry if I'm shaking, by the way. I am caffeinated, like highly caffeinated, too much caffeine. So if I'm a little shaky, or I don't know if you can see how much my hand is shaking. So hopefully this project comes out okay. But I'm buzzing right now. So we're gonna use these bath crayons. All right, so they're still kind of sticky, but I don't think they're ever gonna fully dry on paper anyway. Maybe I'll try and get a better quality one or something, if that exists. And something I'm noticing right off the bat is that these are incredibly transparent and really hard to work with. The thing that I talked about in my intro that really inspired me was these patterns. I know it's not quite hexagonal, but it reminded me of a bee. I really liked that. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to make this work though. And I also want to say, I think that there is soap within these paints, and that's what makes them like washable bath paints, because this is my water cup. And it's like very foamy, and that also might be why they kind of slide right off the ceramic instead of soaking in. Let me try the crayons now. I already have the paper out. We'll just try them on the paper, and then we'll try them on the plate, which I have already washed and dried. I mean, they act like crayons. I don't have a white though, so I don't know how I would make that work. Let's try and... Ooh. They feel like oil pastels. We all know how I feel about oil pastels. But again, we don't have a white. They feel like a really firm oil pastel. Ooh, that blue is creamy. If I had a bigger set of these, I would just treat them like oil pastels. Honestly, I still might try. Now let's try them on the plate. Actually, I want to see something real fast. Let's try the yellow and the orange, which, by the way, I'm impressed. I know the yellow was dirty, but I'm still impressed that it's a lot more pigmented than the paint. It's clean. Why is that actually such a pretty blend? Holy crap. That's beautiful. What the heck? All right, I'm just having fun blending these now. Let's try red to orange. I probably could have gotten a little smoother with it. And it sounds like somebody's vacuuming their car, so I'm sorry for that. For a kid's supply, though? Let's try mixing colors, and then we'll go to the plate. I'm just having fun. Let's try and do a purple. It is very, very dark, but they're for the bathtub. So I have an idea. Let's take a wet paintbrush. Why am I so excited about this? Oh my god. I mean, it's not a great purple, but I might just treat them like oil pastels. It's gonna be difficult to blend colors because we've got the primaries and then orange and green, but if they're water soluble, it'll be easier to blend them. And I can go lighter by watering it down. All right, let's try them on the plate. Not bad. Streaky, but not bad. That's a whole different shade of orange on here than on the paper. And now let's try blending on here. Not horrible, but not great. Let's try adding some water. Pretty much just removes it. There's no blending with water on the ceramic surface. It just removes it. So I know it's a little bit of a cop-out, but I think we're gonna do these on paper. And I will try bath paints a different video if you guys still want to see that. So I guess I'll wash this off and we will save this for if I ever do bath paints or maybe ceramic paints or more glass paint or something. I'll definitely still save it because I'm still inspired by this pattern on the side. Don't get me wrong, I'm still very inspired by that. And then let's get started with this. I am using a photo from a free reference guide from that Facebook page that I've mentioned before. Actually, this is a different one. The other one is just animals. This is just all photos. So I think I'm gonna start with the sky because it seems like the easy option. All right, so I guess we're making the two corners darker then. We'll just kind of have a vignette. I also want to try something else. We'll do it in the other corner just in case it fails. I am going to jump in with a super light wash of blue down here, just for the in-between, and to give it a homogeneous kind of color scheme. So we've got our little very, very light blue underpainting here. So I think I'm gonna try and mix a brown for the, oh my god, the barn. And then do like a fair greenish blue for the mountains behind. really hard to make anything look like anything with this stuff. Granted, I'm working very small here for the medium, and I'm trying to make it look like it's in the background. Let's see if I can blot this away. Don't think I'm gonna be able to. Let's see, how can we remedy that? I guess we can make it slightly larger. I don't know that I want to. Or we can make the sky darker. I also don't want to do that. I can do clouds. Worst case scenario, I make the sky pretty solid. I think we're gonna make a solid sky. I hate to do it, but I think we're going to. But let's jump down here for the, what are they called? Tulips. So I made these rows already. So I'm gonna use them as my guidelines. So I'm pretty much going to make it a little bit more spread out. I'm gonna add some more in here, and then as we get further back, it's pretty much mostly gonna just be the actual red with a little bit of green hidden in there. But right about here, there on, I'm gonna water it down a bit. So about here on, it's gonna be pretty much solid red. So I know this is a big difference from where I was. I don't want this to dry, so hang on just a second. So I know this is very different to where we were, and it looks like it's just about done, because it kind of is. However, apparently I got an email and I didn't realize it, and I didn't realize it stopped recording. So basically what we did is I just took the straight green. Basically I just took the straight green and made these lines with my guides for stems. And I took the straight red and I did some slightly more tulip looking shapes closer, and then further back and more towards the side they got looser and looser. I mixed up a brownish color with the water, and I put the kind of grassy in between, and I gave up on the sky and I colored it in straight up here and then mixed it with water to give it some sort of a fade, and I filled in the mountain with like a blue-green. All I did was mix the blue and the green. So now what I'm gonna go in and do is take a yellow that's already contaminated with green, but it's fine, and I'm gonna kind of just fill in some of the gaps with for the green. I also don't think this part was recorded. I filled this in with straight red, used the water to smooth it, and then with that already colored water from smoothing this, I just filled this in because it's a little bit lighter in the background. Going back in with red and just filling in some of those gaps a little bit more. Maybe some fallen petals. And I don't mind that some of it's left quote unquote white because we did that blue wash even though it was very, very light. Dry enough. We'll go in and just feel like it needs something more, but I can't figure out what. Let's just go in with more flowers for now, I guess. I feel like it needs to be a little bit more solid, but I don't know. So, I'm gonna call that that. Kinda hard to see that. I kind of regret adding the leaves up there. Should I do a wash over it? Maybe. Just mute them a little bit. I think that helps a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. Take paper towel and just wipe it a little bit. Hopefully. Yeah, I think that helps. I think that helps a little. Okay. So definitely not my best work, but considering the medium, I mean, they're made for bathtubs for kids. And honestly also the size, but predominantly the color range. I don't think we did horrible. I think all things considered, you can tell what it is. It's a field of flowers with a farm or something behind it. I definitely made that way too big. Maybe it's a house instead. Maybe it's a really big house. I can't believe I made that so big. But I don't hate it, honestly. Why does that look like a T? Can we fix that? I just noticed that. There. better than it was. I should have done a darker wash in the background. I should have made the home small, or the farm smaller, but considering the medium, I'm very happy with it. If you like my work, and even if you don't, because I do a lot of different materials, this one was pretty unhinged. So even if you didn't love this, check out a few of my other videos and maybe it'll change your mind. But don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to stay artsy. See you next week.